Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? Quite an eventful day. Yesterday, after I made my video, I got a text from my brother. His wife, my sister-in-law's car was stolen from her place of work yesterday. Out in Bellingham, Mass. It's about an hour ride from where I am in the city. And the company that she works for is a transportation company. They had assigned her a parking spot and then told her she needed to leave the keys in the car in case they had to move the car, so she did so. Well, lo and behold, somebody was seen on camera walking over to that parking spot, not even looking in the window, but just jumping in the car, drove off with her Lexus. My brother's an awesome guy. His wife's an amazing woman. They're they need their car. They don't have money like that to throw around. They just threw tires on it. They were absolutely devastated. I felt horrible. I prayed on it last night, reassured them, said, "Listen, guys, just have faith, trust it'll work out. Do your due diligence." The police were really good about it. They were tracking the plate on traffic cameras. They saw the car in Quincy last night. So I told my brother as I went to bed last night, I said, "Listen, hopefully the Quincy police will find it. I'm local. I'm in Somerville. I'm more than happy to help you out tomorrow. Let's just, keep the faith. Pray it's going to be okay, and we'll take it one step at a time." Again, as I said in my prayers last night, I asked God, these are good people. They don't deserve this. Please look out for them. Woke up this morning. A gentleman was driving the car through Quincy at 5 o'clock this morning. He was arrested. There was the whole rigmarole with the car being towed and who's going to pay. And her work was trying to pay it, but they wouldn't take the credit card over the phone. My brother is not somebody that likes to travel. He's never been to Quincy. He was terrified of getting lost. So I said, "Listen, I'm going to speak at my meeting today. After my meeting, I'll come pick up your wife. I'll drive her out to get the car. We'll get it straightened out." And dude, guys, we did. We went out. We got it straightened out. We had to pay the cash, and work's going to reimburse her. Insurance is going to do what they got to do. The car was untouched, other than whoever took it filled it with tools and clothes, and just car reeked like weed. And so they're upset. They feel very violated. But you know what? My brother sent me some of the most beautiful texts, thanking me for helping them out, for walking them through it, for coming and picking her up, saving him having to drive out there and having an anxiety attack over that, keeping them calm. My faith helped them have some faith. I felt like $1,000,000. Felt really good to be there for family. I can't stop shit from happening, but you know what? I can be a shining light. I can be, somebody they can lean on, and I can be of service. I can help every way I can. I left my meeting at 1 o'clock, drove out to Bellingham, and I just got back here at about 6 o'clock tonight, and that's fine. I had a good visit with my sister. We had some good laughs on the ride in. Car's untouched. Tires are fine. Cars, they need a good cleaning. And my brother actually scored a Makita drill and a bunch of tools the idiot left in the car. It's okay, guys. We deal with life on life's terms. When you look for the best, prepared for, just be prepared. Do what you got to do. It all worked out really well in the end. I mean, other than obviously they're violated, they feel terrible having the car stolen. Shocking that it could have happened, but in this day and age, it's going to happen. And you know what? Technology came through. The cops were fantastic. And at the end of the day, my brother's now very happy and just thanking the family for being there for him, for us helping him. That's what we do, guys. And you know what? In active addiction, I hadn't seen my brother in 15 years, right? Now I spent Thanksgiving with them. I'm able to go make a difference in his life today. Beyond that, I spoke last night about the fact that I was speaking. I was the scheduled speaker at the Tuesday speaker meeting today for my gratitude group. I met with my sponsor ahead of time. So I did some work this morning. Actually, I'm making a good day's pay before 11 o'clock this morning. Met with my sponsor, had a fantastic hour talk with him. Went in and put on a fantastic message. Everybody really appreciated it. I felt really good. Really got to focus on the recovery aspect, not getting lost in the mess, which I have in the past, and that felt really good. It was a long day, a lot of driving, a lot of anxiety. Not that I had any, because again, when I put the prayer out there, I literally was able to just let go and say, okay, we're gonna deal with whatever happens, and I didn't feel any anxiety. I felt like $1,000,000. I get to help my brother today, and my brother is one that makes more jokes and really comes with straight emotion, and just reading the text that he was sending me, letting me know how much he appreciated everything I did, like, is everything today, guys. Turned out to be a really good day. And it's funny because I look at the reading today, and the reading is titled Relapse. And I'm like, man, I am the furthest thing from a relapse today because I work my program every day. But it's a very important reading, and we're going to talk about it. So we're going to go with it just for today. NA Meditation. Relapse is the title. Now I've changed it. Relapse, don't do it. Okay? Obviously, right? Relapse. There will be times, however, when we really feel like using. We want to run. We feel lousy. We need to be reminded of where we came from and that it will be worse this time. This is when we need the program the most. If we're contemplating a relapse, we should think our using through to the bitter ends. For many of us, those ends would include severe medical problems, imprisonment, or even death. We all know people who have relapsed after many years clean only to die from their disease, often from the first time they use. Don't do it. But there is also a death that accompanies a return to active addiction that is much worse than physical death. That is the spiritual death we experience when we are separated from our higher power. If we use, the spiritual relationship we have nurtured in recovery will weaken and perhaps disappear. We will feel truly alone. There is no doubt that we will have periods of darkness in our recovery. There is only one way that we can make it through those troubling times: with faith. If we believe that our higher power is with us, then we know that all will be well. No matter how badly we may feel in our recovery, a relapse is never the answer. Together we find recovery. If we stay clean, the darkness will lift and we will find a deeper connection to the God of our understanding. And the affirmation is, just for today, I thank my higher power for the gift of recovery. I know that relapse is never the answer. Whatever challenges I face, I will face them with the God of my understanding. Guys, beautiful end to that reading, right? Relapse is the one thing that scares me in this world, right? And again, not scares me to the point that it paralyzes me or changes. I guess changes what I do in so much as it keeps me very plugged into my recovery program. Um, I am still taking my Sublocade, but again, I've switched it out that I'm going 6 weeks between injections, and I'm doing beautiful with that. Speaking of which, I think, as a matter of fact, I've got one coming up 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow, so I get 2 more weeks. No cravings, no issues. So when I go back after this will be 2 times at 6 weeks. I'm going to go 7 weeks. And after 2 times of that, I'll go 8 weeks. And 2 times of that, at that point, there's no point of it. So I will come off of it. And I'll stay in touch with my medical team like a regular patient at that point. And I'm thrilled with that exit strategy. Medically assisted treatment is beautiful to help us get to where we need to be, but don't use it as a long-term crutch. No, none of these medications is going to be good for you long term. I haven't encountered any issues with my Sublocade, but again, it's not a crutch that I want to be on long term. I don't want to be on anything long term. I'm thrilled with the fact that it's the only medication I take because I'm healthy and I'm doing everything I can to stay healthy, and I want to come off that as well. I don't want to be on that crutch, but I was really glad I had it when my appendix burst 6 months in. So I made it a point to listen to my medical professionals, and they told me to take it steady for 1 year and then wean off. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm thrilled that for once in my life I know I'm doing it properly because I didn't take my self-will and come off it too early or decide to go back, or I didn't allow my disease to make me believe I needed to be medicated when I had the surgery, because I knew I didn't. I don't want that drug in my body. That's the one thing that scares me, because I don't know if once that hits my brain, that all the work that I've done is going to go out the window, and I'm going to start fighting cravings and having those conniving feelings and want to misuse medication. So I remove that from the equation. Further, to keep myself from being, because for myself, I know my biggest triggers are if I get overworked, if I get overwhelmed, and I don't have a recovery network. I feel isolated. So I keep plugged in. I go to my meetings every week. I do extra meetings. I do Zoom meetings. I do my videos every day. I stay rooted in prayer. I start every day on my knees in prayer, and I end my day every night praying and then going to sleep doing a meditation or a subliminal um, hypnosis, I guess you want, sleep hypnosis, right? That's my recovery program, and I add more to that. So now I'm working with my sponsor. I'm starting the 12-step program, actually going through the steps, not rushing through them, not trying to make a point of anything, but just honestly answering the questions and seeing how they apply and giving it, and then going back and reading it again and doing it again because I want to get the most out of this. Not out of fear, but out of benefit. And at the same time, I know it blockades me from having to worry about going into relapse. Relapse doesn't happen because I walk out and find a drug on the ground. I could encounter. I was offered drugs by the doctor, telling me I needed them, and I was still able to not take them because I have conscious contact with my higher power, whom I choose to call God, and I prayed on it, and I said, no, I believe I do not need it. I believe I can do this without, and I want to do it without, and I will feel more confident having done it without. And lo and behold, at 4 hours after surgery, I'm getting released to drive myself home. 2 weeks later, I'm back in the gym and back to work full force because I wasn't slowing my body down with unnecessary medications. I avoid relapse. And again, my point was it happens long before we pick up the drug. We start to isolate. We stop going to meetings. We stop communicating with the people in our recovery networks. These are the things that happen when we start to contemplate a relapse. I know it. I know it too well. I've done it for years, over and over. Every time I tried to get clean, so I avoid that today by doing the work, working my program, staying connected first and foremost to my higher power. Secondly, I do my videos every day to remind myself that I have gratitude, that I live a grateful life in recovery. Third, I keep in tune with my recovery network. I talk to people in my program every single day. Some days I talk to a lot of people. I go to my meetings every week. And now, further, I'm building a relationship with my sponsor, who is available to me, 24/7. Not that I want to tax him, but if I'm having a bad day, I certainly will because I understand that's the point of it, guys. We do these things to keep us from getting into that point. You can't help yourself if you're calling people after the fact in shame, feeling bad about it. And again, if it happens, God forbid, but then you pick yourself back up, you go back into meeting, you get your 24-hour chip, and you start over again. You be honest about it. If you slip, if you fall, get back up. That is the most important. But the whole point of building a recovery network, the whole point of this program is using the tools that we have at our disposal to not let that happen. And in the beginning, you've got to first of all identify what those triggers are, what situations, remove yourself wherever possible. But if you can't, then use the tools of the program to get through those dark periods, those tough days. And I've had many of them. I've had situations, I've made many videos about this, guys. I had situations where I had to go face crack dealers that I owed money to, dope dealers that I owed money to, and I got early in recovery. And with my business in a situation, I couldn't just change my number and disappear like these local people. So as soon as, every time that I was able to, as soon as I was able to, I just sucked it up. But I didn't do so blind, and I didn't do so in isolation. I spoke about it on video. I spoke about it to my family. I made sure I was in touch with people as I was going to do so. And before I did any of that, I prayed about it, and I asked God to be there with me to make sure this isn't a reservation. I'm not going to see these people so I can secretly get offered drugs and then slip up. And I didn't. I faced every one of those. Further than that, I had to start making amends. I had situations where I was called out for actions I did in the past. And immediately, my first thought was don't answer the call, run and hide. But I didn't. I stopped and I thought about it and I prayed about it and said, no, I've got to face this. And if I do, I can put it behind me and good things will happen. I took leaps of faith. Good things will happen if I do the right thing. So I did the right thing, and particularly when it was hard. I went and moved almost 600 gallons of home heating oil in 5-gallon pails, and then I got to pump set up in buckets. That was a cold, wintry, nasty, stinky, disgusting mess that took 3 full days for the lousy, what I make basically in an hour today. But I did it because I made a commitment to do so, and then I went over and above because I wanted to show them gratitude for not causing me problems, not having me. I don't know where the legal realm fell into, but again, they didn't call the police and cause me problems. So I did extra work, and again, now they're customers of mine that I see regularly, and they're proud of me. They've given me tons more work and more responsibility, and then I got more customers through it. Guys, every time I've taken the blind leap of faith by choosing my program over anything else in my life, everything else in my life has expanded and better things have happened. And that's absolutely beautiful. I am so proud. As a matter of fact, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. After my speaking at the meeting today, so many people, and I'm getting to know these people like friends, so they know they can laugh and joke, and I'm getting to be known as a very matter of fact. One Andy, if you're watching, thank you so much. I loved what he said today. He said, Pat, you're almost annoyingly happy, and he meant that jokingly, but he meant it to say like, yeah, you're incredibly positive, and he goes, you make it look easy. And guys, no, we understand it's simple. The program's very simple. It's not easy, but I'm bought in, and I give myself fully surrender. When I say we have conscious contact with our higher power, we trust that God won't give us more than we can handle, that's not something I say, it's something I know. It's something I act on every day, and it relieves me of so much stress. I look at the culmination of everything I survived out there due to my own reckless and irresponsible behaviors, and yet God was always there with me, making sure that I'd be okay. I came through it, giving me, not saving me from situations, but giving me strength to overcome or survive my own recklessness. And I have that faith in my pocket today. And then I have the added benefit of the fact that I know I'm no longer acting recklessly, I'm acting responsibility, and I'm taking good actions. I'm working my program and getting deeper and deeper involved in recovery. I wear my recovery as a badge of honor. So therefore, I'm inviting good things into my life. I'm being of service everywhere I can, regardless of who it is. I was talking with my sponsor about that today. I talked about on video that customer that was the biggest Karen. Like, this woman was absolutely batshit crazy. I had every right to not ever respond to her again. But in the back of my heart, I knew I'd be leaving somebody without heat and hot water in a dangerous cold spell. And I couldn't do that. So instead of going in there and getting into a pissing contest, I just said, Kathy, please don't speak to me like that. Give me a chance to make this right. I had already fixed what I said I was going to fix. You had tons of other problems that weren't my problem, and I couldn't just drop and be here at a moment's notice. You had heat. I got the heat on. You got frozen pipes, and I'll be back as soon as I can, but I had other emergencies ahead of you. And then I went in there very kindly and very professionally and went over and above and fixed every problem right in front of her and explained to her what I was doing in a kind way so she could see the knowledge and the skills that I had, and I blew her away. To this day, she still makes calls to the people that referred me to her, saying how brilliant and how wonderful I am, and how she wishes I would go up to where her cottage is so I could do all the work up there for her. Guys, that shows me that I'm putting principles before personalities. I'm working my program as it's laid out, and it gives me the strength and the power because I know I'm walking with a team of angels. Like, yes, darkness will come. I'll be the light. I'll shine. I answer the call, and I'm proud of that today. I don't mean that in a cocky way, because I'm not a cocky person, but I'm confident, and there's a difference between confidence and cockiness. I know there's nothing that's going to be put in front of me that I can't handle so long as I do the right thing, because it's the right thing to do. I come at it from the right position. I stay rooted in prayer. I show God my gratitude, and I just take good actions, and I trust fully that good things are going to happen. And by doing this, by following this program, the way it's laid out, my life is altered and changed in ways that are nothing short of miraculous. I carry a beautiful message of hope today because I am a beautiful example of hope today. I can't carry something I'm not. I can't fake it till I make it. And I mean, yes, you do what you have to. You look for the good. But I couldn't be where I'm at today if I wasn't living this fully in every ounce of my body. And that was one thing. I used to sit in the early meetings and see the person that could. I said, that's what I want. I want that so badly. And I asked God to give it to me, and I met him halfway and took action. And here we are. I get to be that shining example of success. The things my group members said to me today, Marlene telling me she knows that I'm going to do good things in this life. These are not the things I used to hear in active addiction. It's beautiful today, guys. You can do this. You are worth this. Do this. Work your program. If you work it proper, if you do it the way it's laid out, it's simple. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be hard days. But if you have a higher power in your life, you'll get through those days. And that just makes the good days that much more beautiful because you get to see the difference. Guys, that's the video for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.